From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, a North Pole man accused of striking 2 people in the head with a golf club was indicted by a grand jury on upgraded charges this afternoon.
28-year-old Sean DeShetler now faces 2 counts of attempted murder and 4 counts of first-degree felony assault. According to court documents, police responded to a party on Front Street in Fairbanks on October 19th. 2 victims were found injured, one of them knocked unconscious. DeShetler had left the scene of the incident. One female victim was medevaced to Providence Medical Center in Anchorage, where she was being treated for bleeding on the brain and a fractured skull. DeShetler claimed the assault was done in self-defense. He was arraigned in Fairbanks District Court October 20th.
Alaska State Troopers say a Fairbanks man was able to catch a burglary in action thanks to a live feed security system video. 37-year-old Jeremy Harshfield was apprehended during the incident and charged with burglary and theft. He also had active warrants out for his arrest. According to troopers, the burglary happened at a residence near Gilmore Trail this afternoon. Troopers say the homeowner watched Harshfield pull into his driveway and leave the residence with multiple stolen items that were later found in his vehicle from the camera's evidence. Harshfield was taken into custody and is in jail at Fairbanks Correctional Center.
It's time to finish our look at candidates from local districts who are running for state office. Tonight, Jamie Schwartzwald speaks with candidates for Seat A in the Alaska State Senate.
Challenger Tamara Rosellis is a political newcomer, while incumbent Republican Pete Kelly served in the state House in the mid to late 90s and in the state Senate from 1999 to 2003. He returned to the Senate in 2012.
Because of redistricting, this was only a 2-year seat. So really, in a lot of respects, I was just kind of getting my feet under me again and wanted to complete an entire term, a 4-year term.
I've been knocking on about 2,000 doors, and everybody's main concern is the cost of energy. We've got a pipeline project in the works, but we've had talk about a pipeline project since, I think, Governor Hammond. So we have to be serious about Fairbanks. And the more information that's coming out about the gas trucking, we don't know what that's going to cost. And every time we hear about it, it costs a little more.
While Rosellis contends that energy issues are at the forefront, she says she deserves your vote based on her desire to fully fund an inflation-proof public education.
Preserving our public dollars for our public schools, that's really important. That's our first priority, that we have to use state money to fund our public schools that will be open to everybody, not just the select few that get into private school.
Experience, really. We're philosophically different, my opponent and I, quite philosophically different. That's up to people to figure out. But as far as being able to perform the task, I have a lot more experience, obviously, than she does. And I'm not only have the experience, but I've been put in some pretty serious positions when I've been in the legislature.
Both candidates agree that delivering low-cost energy to the interior has to be the top priority this coming legislative session.
But we've got to get to the second step of building this gas line. We went through what they call pre-feed, and now we're going into the feed section, and it requires legislation and it requires some money to be spent as well. So the gas line is number 1.
We listen to Fairbanks, and we listen that energy is what our economy needs, cheaper energy. It's what our businesses need, and it's what everybody needs. We have to have more money in our pocket. And the way we do that is spend less money on energy. That's money right into the economy.
Jamie Schwartzwald reporting.
The days are getting shorter, and as children trick or treat tomorrow night, it's important for them to be seen by drivers. Local law enforcement will be handing out glow sticks to help with visibility and to encourage safety on the streets. Officials will give out glow sticks across Fairbanks and North Pole tomorrow from 6 to 8:30 p.m. This year marks the 8th annual Operation Glow. During the last 8 years, officers have handed out 71,000 glow sticks along with 21,000 food coupons donated by local businesses. Food coupons are handed out to kids and drivers who practice safe behavior during Halloween festivities.
It is a campaign for youth safety for kids that are out trick-or-treating. Officers will be out handing out glow sticks to kids so they can be seen and be safer on Halloween night. Also, community donations of coupons will also be handed out to drivers that are being safe, really aware of the kids that are out there, and just to have an overall safe event.
The Fairbanks Police Department will also be conducting photo and video contests for Operation Glow. For more information, you can call 450-6500.
That's a great program.
Oh, it is.
It's
Absolutely.
always nice to see. I can't believe they have handed out that many. What do you say, 70,000?
71,000, yeah.
That is pretty neat.
Absolutely.
All right, well, when we come back, in the spirit of Halloween, we take a look at a paranormal investigation team in Haunted Fairbanks.
And time for another look at Fairbanks flavor. Those stories are next. Stay with us. And welcome back. It's a spooky time of year, and tonight we start our series of coverage Haunted Fairbanks with Stephanie Woodard.
Badger Hall, Fairgrounds, investigation for KTVF.
Seekers of Paranormal Activity and History, or SOPA, is a group founded in 2006. Since then, the group of paranormal researchers have been contacted hundreds of times to investigate anything from homes to businesses in the interior.
When we first do an investigation, we'll get the call, and I will go and interview the client, and I'll find out what the claims are.
The group spends hours setting up their equipment to capture things that the naked eye cannot necessarily see during the day.
We use a DVR-based system that films in both full color and has IR night vision. It goes to our home station, which is a DVR, which records all the cameras simultaneously, stores it, and allows us to continue to keep investigations and go back to them and reference them at any point in time.
Some of the equipment can actually read the electronic frequency in the air that SOPA says sometimes is attempts to communicate from beyond. Tell us that you're here. If you're here, give us a sign.
We're looking for anomalies in the video, flickers, wavers, orbs, anything that doesn't look right. And then when we see something that doesn't look right, we actually go through and kind of freeze frame that, blow it up, take a look at it, and then we try to recreate it, try to recreate the effect to see if it's real, not real, if it's something that we did.
And that's right. The first step to identifying ghost activity is to debunk anything that they might see on their screen.
Been other public places in town that we've investigated that are confidential.
One of those places is the Tanana Valley State Fairgrounds.
These are actual voices, or you can hear a little girl laughing. And you know it's a little girl just from the sound of her voice and stuff. And usually it's in the women's bathroom downstairs here in the Totem Center. And, you know, it kind of makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck when you're doing that. And you know you're by yourself, but it does happen.
Tune in tomorrow as we show you the paranormal activity that I experienced. And then decide for yourself. Do you believe in ghosts? I'm Stephanie Woodard reporting. In preparation for Halloween, tonight we have an encore episode of Fairbanks Flavor featuring a pumpkin recipe.
Hi, welcome to Fairbanks Flavor. I'm Lisa Gambardella, and this is Gambardella's Pasta Bella. With me today, I have a special guest. This is Marge. It's her birthday. She's a witch. What are you conjuring up today?
Well, actually, we're going to have a nice fall meal using pumpkins that I grew in my garden.
Those are fantastic.
They are. Let me chop one up and get it ready to go.
Okay, I've got some olive oil and onion started here.
Here's some pumpkin that's ready.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Add that to it. We want to cook that until it's soft. Meanwhile, in my finished pan, I've got some onion and pancetta, which is Italian bacon. It's nice and fatty, but not smoked, so it won't overwhelm the flavors. Some homemade chicken stock.
How long is that going to cook, please?
Well, cook it long enough until that gets nice and soft.
Wine?
Well, of course.
More fun to drink with friends. And cook with friends.
Whip it into a nice pumpkin butter.
Okay.
After your onion and pancetta are cooked,
Parsley.
add your spices. Beautiful.
Nice garlic.
Excellent.
Pepper and salt.
Beautiful.
What about the rosemary?
That is the main thing right there.
Your favorite.
Okay.
Here we go. So fragrant.
Mmm.
Here
Woo! Look at that go. Okay, you ready with some grated cheese?
Yeah, I've got Parmesan ready to go.
Okay. And now you have a delicious fall dish with the pumpkins you grew in your garden. See our recipes at webcenter11.com, and see you next time on Fairbanks Flavor. Add a little balsamic on there. Delicious.
Nice. Ready?
I'm ready.
Cheers. Happy Halloween.
Cheers.
Brought to you by Gambardello's Pasta Bella.
She is just so good at that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's like our own little Fairbanks Rachel Ray.
Very good.
She does a good job.
But better.
Yep.
We turn to sports now with Joe, and I physically turned to sports.
Oh, yes.
Turning to you.
Okay. Got a weekend hockey series previews today. So we'll talk some ice dog and Nana hockey as they get ready for their next matchups, plus some skiing, World Series reactions, some scary things for Halloween, even though it's tomorrow. Having a day early a little bit tonight.
Okay.
That's next. Hello, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with your Thursday Sports. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs roll into the Big Dipper this weekend for a key Midwest Division series against the Minnesota Wilderness. It'll be a 1 versus 3 matchup. The Ice Dogs are on a 5-game winning streak and are on top of the Midwest, while the Wilderness are coming off of a series split with Kenai River. Tobias Borkland leads Minnesota with 10 points, while Nicholas Letamaki has 6 goals. The Ice Dogs are back in their own barn, riding a hot streak. They've added defenseman John Zimmerman from the Madison Capitals of the USHL, while veteran forwards Chandler Maudry and Ethan Somoza lead the NA in scoring. The Dogs will be in the dip for the next 9 games and would love to get a couple of wins during Halloween weekend to strike some fear into their visitors.
It's great because our players are able to establish a routine, which you don't really get on the road a lot of the times, but for them to be in their own beds every single night for the next month and to come to the same rink every single day, have a routine practice schedule, it's huge for them in terms of knowing what they need to do at certain times during the day.
I think we are starting to click a little more. Everyone's starting to buy in. We're working hard out there every practice, and I think just overall our team is just finally coming together as one.
And the Nana hockey team gets a chance to start their WCHA schedule like they started the season. Number 16 Alaska opens WCHA play at Bemidji State tomorrow. The Beavers are on a 3-game skid. They were swept by Minnesota, the number 1 team in the nation, and then they split with number 2 North Dakota in their season opener. Some tough matchups there. Marcus Jabrant leads the Beavs with 5 points, but last season UAF took this series 2-1-1. This year the Nooks started 5-0. They lost their first game of the season last week, splitting with the Western Michigan Broncos. In that series, Sean Cahill recorded his first shutout last Friday with 34 saves, while Nolan Kaiser, Marcus Bassar, and Garrett Perry tallied their first goals of the year. After this series, the Nanooks will have their WCHA home opening series next weekend against Bowling Green. And in high school sports, it's the final week of the volleyball regular season, and 4 teams were in action Wednesday night. So we go to the results. The Lathrop Malamutes spoiled North Pole senior night, winning their match in 4 sets. It's Lathrop's first MAC win of the season. Nadine Velasco led the Mutes with 11 kills and 11 digs in the win. On Allison's senior night, the Ravens swept Delta Junction for their 4th Aurora Conference win of the season. Senior Bree Kriesel had 4 kills, 3 blocks, and 2 aces for the Ravens. And once the snow hits the ground in the fall, Wednesdays are WNR nights. Last night was no different, but it actually was for the Wednesday night race series. 22 skiers came out to Birch Hill in Halloween costumes. Those in full costumes got 1-minute head starts, and those with some scary gear got 35-second head starts. Some incentive to get into the Halloween mood. Zipping through the 4.8 course with fast snow and light winds was Fishman or Dash Farrenbin, first to finish in 14 minutes 45 seconds. Probably call him Jaws Head as well. Shaylin Frost, aka Superwoman, was second overall and the first woman to finish in 15:15. Bob Barker took 5th, the Masters class, and Sam Delamere took 6th place for the boys, and Hannah Delamere placed 16th for the girls. So it'll be a freestyle technique race next Wednesday on November 5th.
It's good to be skiing. I had my first ski on Monday of the year, and yeah, I'm liking it.
I don't think anybody wanted to get near me because my poles are everywhere and I couldn't see anything. But yeah, I had a bit of head drag, but I actually picked a pretty aerodynamic costume, so it didn't work out too bad.
And it came down to a Game 7 in the World Series, and the San Francisco Giants, they won it all. World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner came in and threw 5 shutout innings of relief, and the Giants held on for a 3-2 victory over the Kansas City Royals in Kansas City on Wednesday night as fans celebrated in San Francisco, going crazy. It's the Giants' 3rd World Series title in 5 years. Practically call them a dynasty. The Giants pulled into San Fran early this morning. Their team president described the trip back home.
It's heavy. The plane was just giddy. Everybody was just sort of in an altered state of happiness and euphoria. And you know what? They got it done.
They definitely did. And the Ice Dogs will be wearing some pretty scary jerseys in this weekend series against the Wilderness. So this being Halloween weekend, I asked some of the Ice Dogs what scares them.
I don't know, I'm scared of spiders. That's the only thing. I hope I don't see that.
I could say spiders. They creep me out. They're there 1 minute and they're gone the next minute, you know.
What am I scared of? I'm scared of my wife when I know she's mad at me. That's, to be honest with you, that's something I fear.
I think every married man can probably relate to that Halloween fear. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is back, and he has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you after a week vacation. And I'll tell you what, it is so good to be back in Fairbanks because that traffic down there to the south in California, it's a nightmare. It is just so good to be here. And the weather was pretty hot too. So we're looking at cool temperatures here, but nothing really that uncomfortable. We'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Here's our photograph for tonight. A little bit fuzzy, but still a nice picture sent in by Billy Mitchell in the Tok area. He was able to capture their first caribou coming through the area. And again, photos, if you have a photograph to send, by all means, send it to photos@ktbf11.com. Your numbers look like this on the almanac. Today's high 16. The current temperature 14, the low last night 10. Record high 45, that was in 1934. Record low 23 below in 1975. Sunrise about 9:37 this morning and the sunset this evening at 5:33, giving us 7 hours and 56 minutes of daylight under the 8-hour barrier, a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. Here's what's going on in the satellite picture, not a whole lot. As you can see, most of the energy again to the east of the Fairbanks area. Some of this curling back might possibly give us a few snow showers tonight and tomorrow, but the main energy force is moving off to the east, and we're looking at mainly cloudy skies into the weekend with temperatures cooling off a little bit. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, as we speak, it's raining around the Juneau area, also rain at Ketchikan, and some showers around the Kodiak region. 29 degrees at Anchorage, partly cloudy skies there. Nice weather up and down the west coast. A little chilly at Bethel, 24 degrees there. The same for Nome, and 14 degrees at Barrow with cloudy skies. Lower 48, it looks like this, and over the Pacific Northwest, the rain continues to fall around the Seattle area. Cloudy skies down over the Los Angeles area, Las Vegas at 83. Denver, 62 degrees, and lots of sunshine across the Central Plains. Also over the southeast, some thunderstorms and around the Miami area, 86, and New York, 58 degrees and lots of sunshine. On the satellite and radar, you can see a little bit of shower activity moving across the Great Lakes and the Central Plains, with the things clearing out there. A new storm system moving across the Pacific Northwest promises to bring rain all the way down as far south, possibly as Southern California by tomorrow as the rain moves in, and it's something they really need in the worst way. They are going through a major drought situation. The overall outlook for this weekend calling for the jet stream to move way up to the north, which means warm temperatures across the Central Plains once again, showers over the western half of the country, and windy and colder with more rain across the eastern half of the country. Back to Alaska for tomorrow, the northern sections. Here's what it looks like. Cloudy skies, some flurries, mostly sunny skies at Nome, and a little snow is possible in the Fort Yukon area, maybe up to 2 inches possible. Over the interior, looking at mainly occasional flurries for Fairbanks and Delta, just mainly cloudy skies around the Healy area. Over southeast Alaska, the rain will continue across the entire region, with Juneau looking at 42, 46 at Ketchikan, and over the southwest part of the state, mostly sunny skies at Bethel, rain expected in Cold Bay, rain and snow at Kodiak. And over the south central regions, we're looking at decreasing clouds for Anchorage and Homer, rain and snow in Valdez. Okay, once again, it's time for our Thursday night edition of our Kids Weather Watch, and actually we're not having it with the kids until next week. Once again, we're having some more weather facts for you. In 1925, Nashville, Tennessee saw their earliest snowfall ever as 1 inch of snow fell. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for them, that was pretty exciting. And thanks to Mount McKinley Bank, as always. And next week, we'll be visiting with the kids from Denali Elementary School. And it is Thursday night, like I said. Time for our road conditions. You can see here, looking at the Dalton Elliott Highway, some icy patches, dry surfaces, otherwise some light winds here and there. And over the Steeson-Richardson Highway, slippery road surfaces, icy patches once again, and a little light snow here and there. And over the Parks Highway, ice glaze, which means the roads are kind of slick in places. Some snow is on the roadway, and that's about what it looks like. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 7 degrees, the overnight low, cloudy skies, occasional snow flurries. And tomorrow's forecast calling for continued cloudy and a chance of some snow flurries, with the extended forecast looking not all that bad. Again, maybe some flurries again on Sunday, otherwise mainly clear to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the teens all the way across the board. Overnight lows right around the single digits to 10 degrees. But the big news is no real frigid temperatures and no real cold, no cold air at the horizon, and no big snowfall either. It's good to be back, though, and thanks for helping out with the weather.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was definitely fun to do that.
Yeah, that ghost story is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It'll get even better tomorrow, guys.
Part 2 tomorrow, right.
And speaking of tomorrow, Igor is coming back to help out with the weather.
Oh, very good.
Tune in to see what we'll all be.
I called him back in. He'll be here.
Well, we have run out of time, so from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great night. We'll see you back here at 11.
On Halloween. Oh.
Eve.
Halloween Eve.